Welcome back, True Seeker. It is Tuesday, December 5th, 2023. In the headlines, death of longtime musician Denny Lane, remembered for the band Wings with Paul McCartney and the Moody Blues. And he's passed at the age of 79. Seen a number of pretty well known musicians die at that age, 79, and it is longer than the average life expectancy. But of course, when you involve Gematria, again, Slipknot has that song Gematria, the killing name, that age of death becomes a lot more interesting, especially when someone dies on their 38th day of their age, as Denny Lane has. And if you're new here, pause the video and listen to the song by another British band, The Police, called Murder by Numbers, where it's about how murder is the sport of the elected. It's as simple as ABC, as 1, 2, 3 to kill somebody. And also look at the movie poster for Murder by Numbers. You'll notice they changed two of the letters to numbers. They make it so that there's a 3 and an 8 in the title, Murder by Numbers. Again, in Gematria, which is very simple, it is as simple as ABC as 1, 2, 3. It's also as simple as running the alphabetic order in reverse. And it's also both directions with numerology. There's 4 numerical values that you really want to know for each word. And in the case of murder, 2 of those values are 79 and 38. So in the case of Denny Lane, he's dead at age 79. And he was born October 29th, dead December 5th today, which is his 38th day of his age. And when it comes to celebrity death, it's probably the number that we talk about the very most. It's amazing how common it is when celebrities die that 38 is present. The word death equals 38. So does murder. So does killing. So does RIP. Fateful number. And they said he's been on a ventilator, hardly alive for the last week. So sounds like they just pulled the plug on him today, ritualistically. And again, I mean, if you got musicians like Sting singing about this murder code and it being the sport of the elite, how many people in the world are aware of this and practicing it? Sting didn't come up with that song and just make that up like it was his idea. This is what's going on in the world. He learned about this from being in the entertainment industry where this happens all the time. And it's not just that he's dead at age 79 on his 38th day of his age. That's not all, because again, Paul McCartney, who was in the band Wings with him, who's a lot more famous, who lives on, notice from Paul McCartney's June 18th birthday to today, December 5th, is 170 days later. And we see that one a lot too. Sacrifice equals 170. And then, of course, a lot of musicians, they don't even make it past 27. The word ritual equals 27. Well, in this case, the band Wings equals 27 when you run the alphabetic order forwards and in reverse. And again, he's in the band Wings, and he's dead on the first of the last 27 days of the year, December 5th. So, article says Denny Lane, the British star musician who co-founded the iconic rock bands the Moody Blues and Paul McCartney's Wings, has died. He was 79. Lane died peacefully Tuesday morning at his home following health setbacks from, what is it? I don't even know how to say that word. Interstitial lung disease. You don't want that. His wife, Elizabeth Hines, shared on his Facebook page. I was at his bedside holding his hand as I played his favorite Christmas songs for him. He's been singing Christmas songs the past few weeks, and I continue to play Christmas songs while he's been in an ICU on a ventilator this past week. And sadly, just wait till Christmas comes around, and we're talking about more stories just like this, probably even younger people by a lot younger, because it's the same thing every year. And for the record, Christmas, which is a pagan thing, really, it also has that Gematria 38. And it's not an accident. You just wonder what's really going on in these celebrity families where it's always some story like that. And it seems like they just passed away so nicely and nobody's questioning anything. But it couldn't just keep happening like this organically. Impossible. It's just like what Sting sung about. And maybe his wife, she's a fan of the practice too. She might have slipped a tablet into his coffee to avoid an awful lot of mess, or however that song goes, if you want to listen to the lyrics. Also, since it was in the news yesterday, Rockstar, the big video game company that makes the Grand Theft Auto series, they announced Grand Theft Auto 6. They put out the trailer yesterday, and the trailer had the music of a rock star, Tom Petty, who died 6 years ago. I was doing a little more research on Grand Theft Auto. I saw that the sixth, even though it's Grand Theft Auto that's six that's coming out, they've made way more games than that. This just one's just titled Six. The actual sixth Grand Theft Auto was called Vice City, and Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be in Vice City again. And but yeah, the Tom Petty thing again. They put out the trailer with his music exactly 322 weeks after his death. And I know some of you guys who are here now were not here back when Tom Petty died. When Tom Petty died, it was like a weird thing for me because I'd been smoking weed since the time I was a teenager up until Tom Petty died, and it was like 2 days before he died that sweet lady asked me to stop smoking weed. So I had just started trying to stop smoking weed, and then Tom Petty died, and Tom Petty has a song called Last Dance with Mary Jane, and I just thought it was so weird. But yeah, to go back to Tom Petty's passing, to show you the ritual with this, let me see if this is the right post. I just remember when Tom Petty died, the World Series was shortly after that, and then all throughout the World Series, they were playing Tom Petty's music, and you'd never heard Tom Petty's music in the World Series before as they went to commercial breaks, but they had to do that because his death had just been recently. And it's just kind of sick to just watch the whole Rig 6 system work, the rigged baseball game, the ritualistic murder. Then they pay tribute by playing his songs, which the record companies make even more money off, but he's not here. Anyhow, Tom Petty's death, just to revisit, born in October, also like Denny, but he was 66 years old. And here's the big piece right here. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, the name of his band, Gematria 317, which is the 66th prime, which was his age of death. And the first album they ever put out was in 76 on November 9th, 119. If you do it with numerology, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers is 119. So is fentanyl also has the 119, and they blamed his death on fentanyl. And let's not forget that fentanyl has the 38 as well, like Prince equals 38, and they blamed Prince's death on fentanyl. These were like the two shocking deaths about a year apart from each other. Prince and Tom Petty both blamed on fentanyl as the opioid crisis grew. But He died 38 days after the August 25th announcement that they had to pause their touring. 38 days again. And here, just to pull up fentanyl. And that's what I mean. I mean, we've done a million decodes of celebrity deaths, suspicious deaths over the years, and it's rare that the number 38's not there. But you can see fentanyl's got the 38 in it. The 119, like Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Prince has the 38 and 97 and 34, like fentanyl. And remember, that was like the first celebrity death where they really attached fentanyl to it. Look at all the overlap with fentanyl and Prince. 3 of the 4 values, 38, 34, 97. And if you're new here, the word death is also 38 and 97. Murder has the 34, 38. 79, where we began with the death of Denny at age 79. But yeah, look at this. Look at, it was January 19th. It was 119 that the headline came out that what had caused his death was fentanyl. And that's just how you see that's all bullshit. And this is what goes on every day. They got to tell you on 119 that he died from fentanyl. Bullshit. News by the numbers. Oh, yeah, they also put out the news 3 months and 17 days after he died. 3 months and 17 days, right? Like Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, 317. It was the last day of Capricorn, and you can see how Capricorn and fentanyl overlap as well. So, No, I should just scroll down this post. We're making the same point about Prince and fentanyl forever. So yeah, Rockstar. And with regards to Rockstar Games, I mean, look at it. We know who's doing this, right? Rockstar Games has the 150 like Illuminati, 51 like Adam Weishaupt, which goes with the 5-1 establishment of the Illuminati, 201 like Order of Illuminati, like Adam Weishaupt did 201 days after the anniversary of the Illuminati's establishment. Prince, who did the song Black Donald Trump, who died 201 days before Trump became the president elect. And then also 84, like Jesuit, like the Jesuit order. The Jesuit order is 201 and 84 in the same ciphers. Again, Adam Weishaupt, the Jesuit, created the Illuminati. And I mean, it shouldn't shock anybody that we know that they're controlling everything from entertainment to politics to news. So it shouldn't be a surprise that they're also the entity behind a video game such as Grand Theft Auto, which I think is it the most popular? If it's not the most popular video game in the world, it's right up there at the very tippy top of the list. So it's not far off. But yeah, since that was also big news yesterday, and just another example of a musician gone by the numbers, even more prematurely, because Tom Petty was only 66. Tom Petty seemed like a decent guy. He had the song The Last DJ about how sold out the radio is. But yeah, I'm sure somewhere along the line, just like Bob Dylan told us in 60 Minutes, you want to make it in the world, you want to be a big star, there's only one way to do it. You got to sell your soul. So we'll always thank Bob Dylan for that 60 Minutes interview. And I'm sure, Paul McCartney, if that's even still him, a lot of people say he died in a car crash a long time ago and was replaced. But, Denny Lane, all these people, man. That's why they all go out by the same old code. And, the one other thing that's important to mention is just all these things right here. Just write out this little list of things. Again, Earth, Enlil, Devil. There's more you can add to this list. But Earth, Enlil, Devil, they all have this perfect overlap. Enlil's this Babylonian god that has a lot of parallels with the devil. But you see how in the reverse, how they're all 83? Again, that's the same cipher where murder is. Like how the song Murder by Numbers came out in 83. And, it's just like how they gave us the nice show recently, the Fall of the House of Usher, about people that sell their soul to the devil. And the deal is that years from now, after all the success they're about to get, they're going to have to sacrifice their entire bloodline and then themselves. And it's obvious it's more than just some show you can watch on Netflix. It's obvious that that's the way this entertainment business works. So, R.I.P. to Denny Lane, regardless. But yeah, for just all the young children who aspire to big stars on the world stage. Again, I'm not sure how many children would aspire to want these things if they realize that the world of celebrity, again, is a world of sacrifice. And my guess is we go down, the timeline of Denny Lane, he might have had some deaths along the way of people close to him. It's true for a lot of these people in the entertainment world. A lot of death connected to the world of celebrity. And just like in the Fall of House, or what's the Fall of the House of Usher, before they die, they have to watch the people around them die. So, wasn't it Jeff Beck that died at 79 earlier this year as well? Let me go back and see how old Jeff Beck was. He was 78. So thus he was in his 79th year of life. He died 201 days from his birthday. Hold on, I'm almost done. Sweet lady's calling in the background. Jeff Beck put out the album 18 right before his death with Johnny Depp, and Johnny Depp was also connected to Prince's death and River Phoenix and probably several other people. But anyhow, that's right. Jeff Beck had just put out this album 18. Again, in Judaism, 18 represents the meaning of life. The Jesuit logo is the IHS inside the sun, which has the gematria of 18 like Jeff. And he died 180 days after the album released. Kind of like 18. And Jeffrey Arnold Beck, his full name, the Jesuit motto ad Marim Dei Gloriam, perfect overlap. Their big song, Cream for Your Love, 172. And then he died 201 days from his birthday. The Jesuit Order 201, Jesuit 78, dead at 78. Dead 78 days before Eric Clapton's birthday, who was also in Cream with him. And dead right after Jimmy Page's 79th birthday as well. They were in the Yardbirds together. Jimmy Page, who made his name in Led Zeppelin. So yeah, and again, when you die at age 78, you do die in your 79th year of life. So I knew there was a 79 piece with Jeff Beck's death, and there's been many others. Just thinking of famous British musicians who died in this last year as well. Jeff Beck's up at the top of the list. That's right. Johnny Depp's full name's 322. Special number to the occult, Kabbalah, the Tree of Life, 3 Pillars, 22 Paths, Genesis 322. Again, the ritual of Tom Petty yesterday in Grand Theft Auto. 322 weeks after his death, on the nose, they put out the trailer with his song. And again, that's 6 years, which is perfect for Grand Theft Auto 6 by the company Rockstar Games. Okay. Yeah, and also just since I know my trolls are always watching, like they love to troll and harass. I hate how often I log into one of my videos and the top comment, some troll comment with 50 likes behind it, and then you look at all these other awesome comments that got ignored that don't have a single like, and it's like, is that the only people who go through the comments or the trolls just to do this? But it's like last night we had a great night with Monday Night Football, and in the stream it was all very clear why we favored the Bengals to cover with a good narrative to upset, why we liked a score that had us on the over. So we like the over. We like Bengals to at least cover, potentially upset. We had player prompts that we nailed left and right. I gave out 3 player prompts that seemed like almost locks. They all came in. And then the only comment that got any response is from a troll that also lives on my Patreon all day. And he's like, you didn't call any of those things. It has like 5,000 likes. It's like, oh yeah, we didn't call any of those things. No, we called all those things. That's why plenty of people won big last night. But it's just annoying because, like, if you came to the video and you'd never seen my work before, you'd be like, oh, the only comment here is saying this guy's a total liar and fraud, and look at all the likes it has. But yeah, like, whoever you are, Leonard Koger. I mean, like, literally, like, it's too bad that I have to be talking about the obituary of Mr. Denny here. Your obituary, that'll be a day where, like I said, you should never talk ill of the dead, but for all of my trolls, I'll be pissing on your graves and happy about it. God will be coming down to the clouds finally to thank us all. Let these Samps have it, Zachary. But yeah, all of you trolls who just sit around here and harass this work, I mean, you guys are just like the absolute bottom dwellers of humanity. Just disgusting people. And my guess is they're all, I won't even say it, but they're the same ones that you can't say anything about. They're the only protected group. Have you guys turned on Fox News? I turned on Laura Ingraham tonight, and I just couldn't believe what I was hearing. She said that you can talk, how did she say it? She said online, like, if you attacked a gay person or a trans person or a black person or a Mexican person or an Asian person, you'd be censored in a moment. But if you said anything about a Jewish person, it's tolerated. I was just like, what? It's like, is she serious? You can't say anything about that group of people. And it's been that way for 20 years online. Fox News, man. I mean, that's just like, it's hard to be worse than CNN, but Fox News really is. It's the worst news network, and it always has been. And it's funny how many fake woke people are like, no, it's the only truthful network. It's like, oh, it is? You must have just pulled your head out of your ass or you never have if you think anything like that. Fox News has always been like the most hardline, pro-Zionist, pro every false flag America does. You better not say anything about the false flag. I mean, that's what Fox News is. All these news networks are trash, but you can see right now at this moment, if you have eyes to see, that Fox News is the very worst news network there ever was. Because it's just like turning on what I just heard. It's like, they have like no dignity. What she just said is just so unreal. You know, the only group that you can talk about online and get away with it are Jews? Really? Oh, no. God. That news network should be just shut down. And all of them should, actually. They should all be shut down. The world would be a lot better place without any of these news networks. There's not one news network that does anything beneficial in the US. Not one. There's not one beneficial news network. No, not even Amy Goodman's Democracy Now. None of them. Because all it is bullshit each day. All you get from all these networks all day, every day is bullshit. Oh, yeah, he just passed away peacefully with his family by his side. No, we can tell that's not what happened. Who pulled the plug on him? Who gave him the lethal injection? Oh, it was fentanyl again. Oh, I'm sure. Sure. Prince wasn't known as some druggie. He's dead from fentanyl. Come on. God. What a shame. Here, let me just check what else is buzzing in the BS. Classified briefing on Ukraine devolves into shouting match. Well, it should, because we need to stop. I mean, it's been the same story for all of our lives. America just needs to get out of everyone else's business, which is never going to happen because America's not a sovereign nation. Our entire history is fake. It's always been part of this new world order cabal that's just growing and growing. And now people can't figure that out. I don't know. It must be because of some serious indoctrination. There is no America. There's just the new world order, and we're the big muscle military part of it. But what else they got up there? Biden tells donors he's not sure he'd be running in 2024 if Trump wasn't in the race. He's not sure he'd be running in. Oh, so he's only motivated to run against Trump. So it's not even about what? IDF should retain control for disarmament of Gaza after war, Netanyahu says. That's the Israeli Defense Forces. Okay. So, yeah, he wants to have a full-time occupation of the open-air prison of Gaza. Okay. He wants to make life even worse for him. That's even possible. Look at the nice shots of Gaza where the whole land is rubble and blown up buildings. Turn on Fox News. How dare you have any sympathy for Gaza? Yeah, Fox News has always been the white supremacist, racist, pro-Zionist, just total trash news network. And all the fake woke people are like, it's the only one worth watching. Jesus is real and Fox News is the truth. It's a problem too, all these fake woke people. Okay. Spielberg comments on unspeakable barbarity against Jews after October 7th. Maybe he'll have a new movie out about it by Christmas. Steven Spielberg, who sticks 201 in all of his movies. BBC host Kelsey Grammer interview cut short as talk turned to his Trump support. But let's talk about Kelsey Grammer's movie, The God Committee, where he's a doctor installing pig organs in human beings, and how 201 days after that movie came out, look it up, it's all facts. My video on how his movie about installing pig organs in humans came out exactly 201 days before the news of the first genetically modified pig heart being installed in a human being. And I believe that guy died in a 38 ritual, actually. We'll have to go back and look. But yeah, that movie, The God Committee, about doing that did come out 201 days before supposedly history was made. And of course, Kelsey Grammer made his name in the show in Seattle, where Bill Gates is, the land of the world's biggest needle. Then a lot of people's hearts started having problems after the mass. You know what? But hold up. I want to go back to this pig heart death. I think it was another 38 special, if I'm not mistaken. First person to receive gene-edited pig heart dies 60 days after historic transplant on March 8th. Yeah, he did. Died on 3/8. I think if you go back to March 8th this year, there was also a celebrity death, a 38-year-old celebrity dead on March 8th. And then I know on 8/3 this year, August 3rd, you had Mark Margolis at age 83 dead on 8/3. He starred in the movie with Pacino in 83, Scarface. He died at the University of Maryland Medical Center, which is 3/8/3. And the date can be written 3/8 or 8/3. Let's see. Yeah, just all the things that Again, just for this simple presentation. At the time, the video was taken down, and I think I lost the whole channel over it at the time. Actually, they said it was a major violation of their medical policy to show that this movie came out 201 days before the news of the first pig heart being installed in a human, when that's what this movie, The God Committee, is about. The God Committee equals Jesuit order. But yeah, if you haven't seen this movie, you might want to check it out. Came out on 20/6, like 206, which is the Seattle area code where his hit show Frasier was set. Again, Seattle, the land of where the first COVID case in the world was confirmed outside of mainland China in Bill Gates' backyard. Let's not forget what happened to Kurt Cobain 206 days before Bill Gates' birthday back in 94. We call Seattle the 94 city. I'm just always adding new 94s onto the Seattle list. Last night I noticed Jake Browning, who's now playing for the Bengals. I noticed when he played at University of Washington in Seattle, he had 94 touchdowns. It's like, God, it's so scripted, man. From college football to the NFL to our news. These Kabbalah freaks, man, you talk about the ultimate control freaks. They got to put their fingerprints on everything. They got to control a college player's total touchdown output. They got to make sure it has the right stamp for the cities they play in. And this thing with Browning in 94 in Seattle is the same thing for all these college. Again, if you can gamble on the game is rigged. That's the rule. And if you doubt that, it's because you're a dummy. That's it. Just like, and they know how to take people's money, the casinos. They made the 49ers the favorites in Philadelphia with a worse record. Like, in what world did that make sense? But then the 49ers beat the living shit out of the Eagles in the scripted game, becoming 9-3 for the year when Philadelphia Eagles is 93. Leonard's watching right now. He's like, how am I going to troll this video? How many alt accounts do I have ready to go to thumbs up my comment? How about go find a revolver and load it with a few bullets and put it in your mouth and do what you've been meaning to do for all these years? I mean, if all your life is to sit around here and troll, who needs you around, buddy? There's a story out here in our neck of the woods in Washington State today about how a pharmacist went out and took out some family members and then got out in a shootout with the police and got shot to death. Suicide by cop. Not the way to do it, but just, I mean, if you're like that down in the world, don't take other people with you. Just get rid of yourself, Leonard. Leonard, he just lives on my Patreon all day. It's like, what kind of fucking loser lives on my Patreon all day if you don't like the work? Move on, loser. Move on, loser. Get tired of all these losers that just hang around and talk shit and slander my name and my work every day when it's impeccable. Yeah, and anyone who thinks it's wrong to encourage that, you're wrong. There's way too many losers. Why do you think the world is where it is? Do you think the Illuminati would have any power in the world if people were like yours truly? No, they wouldn't have any power. I wouldn't buy any of their shit products. I wouldn't fall for any of their shit propaganda. I wouldn't get suckered out of my money and life every day. That's what most of the world's doing. They're buying all the Illuminati shit products. They're watching all their shit programming. They're believing all their shit. They're worshiping all their shit. That's why the Illuminati has power. Because of all the lemmings that can't separate themselves from the obvious. You know. Shout out to 13 Serpents. Appreciate it again, 13 Serpents. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, ignore the calendar and all their bullshit holidays they gave us, too. I agree. Just stop participating in all their ritualism. That's what it is. Every day they got rituals for us to participate in and get involved in. Nobody should. Nobody should fall for any of it. You think America woke up yet? You think if tonight's headline was COVID 5.0 super killer bugs out there, put on your mask right now, and Pfizer's already got the jab ready for you this weekend, you think anyone in America would question it, or you think they'd all put on their masks and run out and get jabbed up this weekend? We all know the answer to that. Again, this is a populace that needs to go. It's 2023. To not know what time it is, to not know how bankrupt the government is and the media, I mean, it's pathetic. And that's where most people are. So, shout out to John Mendoza. Appreciate it. All right, we'll leave it there for now, Truth Seeker. Have a good rest of your evening, and until next time.